Hello and welcome to Mental Health Minutes. Today we're diving into the hidden dangers of mainstream media. We can't just ignore the media, it's how we stay informed and connected. So today we're going to unpack those dangers, shine a light on the sneaky ways media can mess with our minds, and most importantly, give you the tools to stay informed, without ending each day curled in a ball of existential dread. Think of it as media literacy self-defense. You need to be able to spot a dodgy headline from a mile away. So buckle up, grab your thinking caps, and let's dive in. Next up, let's talk about sensationalism. It's a tactic used by many media outlets to grab your attention quickly. Sensationalism plays on our most basic instincts, our love of drama, our curiosity, and our desire to be in the know. It taps into our fear of missing out, making us feel like we need to click immediately. We often find ourselves clicking on anything that promises shocking secrets or unbelievable stories. The problem is, sensationalism often comes at the expense of accuracy and nuance. It sacrifices the truth for the sake of a catchy headline. It's about grabbing your attention, not necessarily telling you the whole story. This can lead to misinformation and misunderstanding. This is especially true online, where algorithms are designed to feed us content that's likely to keep us engaged, often prioritizing sensationalism. So how do we avoid the clickbait trap? Try not to judge a news story by its headline alone. Take a moment to dig deeper. Take a moment to read the article, check the source, and verify the information. See if it offers any actual substance beyond the initial shock value. Look for detailed reporting and credible sources. And if it seems too outlandish to be true, well, my friends, there's a good chance it probably is. Always approach sensational headlines with a healthy dose of skepticism. Alright, let's talk about corporate influence in media. The reality is, a lot of mainstream media outlets are owned by massive corporations, and those corporations have interests that may not always align with fair and unbiased reporting. Think of it like this. You wouldn't expect a tobacco company to fund research promoting the benefits of smoking, would you? Similarly, you might want to be a tad skeptical when a media outlet owned by a massive oil company downplays the urgency of climate change. Be aware of who owns the media you consume. Look up the parent companies, check their track records, and consider whether their financial interests might be influencing the news they produce. Let's talk about echo chambers and confirmation bias. Algorithms are designed to show us content we're likely to engage with, creating echo chambers. Confirmation bias kicks in when we actively seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs. It's comforting to surround yourself with people who agree with you, but constantly existing in an echo chamber can warp your perspective. It makes it difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue, empathize with those who hold different views, or even recognize when your own beliefs might be misinformed. Be mindful of the content you consume and seek out diverse perspectives. The mental health toll when staying informed becomes information overload. We're bombarded with information 24/7. Studies have shown that constant exposure to negative news can lead to increased anxiety, stress, and even depression. The constant pressure to stay informed can be overwhelming. Be mindful of your media consumption. Set boundaries. It's okay to take breaks from the news and to prioritize your mental well-being. Balance the heavy stuff with lighter fare, whether it's reading a good book, spending time in nature, or finally mastering that fitted sheet-folding technique. Framing is a crucial concept in media that often goes unnoticed by the average viewer. Framing, in the media sense, is how the information is presented, and it can significantly shape our understanding and interpretation of events. The subtle, and not so subtle ways language, images, and even music can influence how we perceive a story are all part of framing. It's not just about what is being said, but how it's being said. Think of it like this. You can describe a glass as half full or half empty. This simple choice of words can change the entire perception of the situation. It's the same glass, the same amount of liquid, but the framing changes how you feel about it. This is a basic example, but it illustrates the power of framing in shaping our thoughts and emotions. Mainstream media doesn't just give us the facts, it packages them, often with a side of pre-approved opinions. These opinions can subtly influence our own views without us even realizing it. For example, take a story about government spending. This is a topic that can be framed in numerous ways, each with a different impact on the audience. Depending on the outlet, it could be framed as a necessary investment in public services or a reckless misuse of taxpayer dollars. The framing can lead to vastly different public opinions and reactions. Same story, different framing, completely different emotional response. This is the power of framing in action, shaping our emotions and thoughts. Images are incredibly powerful framing tools. A single image can convey a strong message and evoke deep emotions. A picture of a protest might focus on a small group clashing with police, completely ignoring the thousands peacefully demonstrating nearby. This selective framing can alter the entire narrative of the event. Suddenly, a story about peaceful assembly becomes a story about violence and unrest. The framing shifts the focus and changes the public perception. Music, too, plays a role. The background score in a news segment can set the tone and influence how we feel about the story being presented. Think about those dramatic scores used in news segments. They're not just for effect. They're designed to evoke specific emotions, often fear, urgency, or outrage. These musical cues can heighten our emotional response to the news, making us more likely to react strongly to the information being presented. Recognizing framing isn't about becoming cynical and distrustful. It's about becoming a more critical consumer of information. It's about understanding the techniques used to shape our perceptions. It's about asking yourself, okay, what am I not seeing here? What other perspectives might exist that are not being presented? How else could this story be presented? By asking these questions, we can better understand the full picture and make more informed decisions. Staying media savvy? It's not all doom and gloom. The media landscape can feel like a minefield of misinformation, corporate influence, and emotional manipulation. But with a little caution and the right tools, we can navigate it safely. The key is to become a more critical and discerning consumer of information. Question everything. Think critically. Remember, knowledge is power. Be vigilant, be skeptical, and most importantly, be kind to yourself and each other. So there you have it, the hidden dangers of mainstream media and how you can navigate them. Remember, staying informed is vital, but doing so critically and thoughtfully makes all the difference. Don't let the constant barrage of information overwhelm you. Take control of your media diet, prioritize your mental well-being, and remember to approach everything you see and hear with a healthy dose of skepticism. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. What are your strategies for staying media savvy? Do you have any tips or tricks for navigating the minefield of misinformation? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.